How are you doing? Abu, let me see how you break your bias. Again? Yeah, so we are breaking biases. That's what International Women's Day this 2020 is all about. Breaking the bias, okay? And for us, we also want to activate our brave. Great, so we are activating our brave. And so we are going to be brave about this whole process because we need to take it again from the top. So be brave about it. Say, I'm brave. Thank you. Angeline, brave.
So because this is a live recording, let me tell you, this whole day today is us activating our brave and trying out something new. Sindio, 30. Mtaniona pale kwa TV nikifanya hizi vitu bado tu. Sasa tutakuwa tunafanya, oh, hi. So I'd love to welcome you to season 50. We are activating our brave and we are breaking the bias. Today is International Women's Day. Na kwa hii maneno ya International Women's Day, we are coming and having honest conversations. Thank you so much for coming and being with us today. Sindio? And right now, I have a few questions for Lady Laimani. And I'd like, you know, when I was just interacting and mingling at the beginning, I was getting ideas on what to ask her. And then yesterday evening, I was just thinking, I'll ask her a few questions. And now I have the great privilege of sitting down and asking the questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Angeline, and welcome everyone. Even for the people who'll be watching us from home, please, you're most welcome. And remember, International Women's Day is about breaking your bias. And you have to ask yourself, what does bias mean? What does the word bias mean? It means preconceived assumptions that we make about people, about situations, you know, how we make preconceived judgment, stereotypes, okay? And we also have biases towards ourselves. You are too big, you're too fat, you're too this. So those are biases, yeah? We need to break those biases. Or you are too much, okay? Or you're too quiet. Or this is not for you. Greatness isn't for you. Those are biases. And we need to challenge ourselves that we are going to break those biases even within of ourselves. So we are excited to be activating our brave in breaking our biases. So Angelina, I look forward to the questions that you have. And yeah, I'll be as close as possible so that I can be able to answer them and get really candid.
Hey, acha tu nianze tu na, you know, there are many, but the first one I'd like to ask, how did you start this journey? Like, you know, we have season 2, season 1, all the way up to season 50. What made you start this program? How did you start it?
Yes, thank you. That's a question that a lot of people keep asking me. And depending on where I am at, I give the depth of the answer, because it can go very, very deep. And I can also give what people are able to process. So on the depth side, because today we are breaking our biases and we are activating our brave, on the depth side, I have to say that Alabastron is a spiritual journey. For me, Alabastron was a calling. I am not one of those women who looked at the market and said, there's a gap, or we need to do this and that. It's not a business. Let me tell you, ladies, when you are aligned to purpose, purpose can lead you to business. It can become an amazing businesswoman, but purpose is not really just about the business. Purpose is about what's the business of the business? What's the why? Or behind what you are doing. So for me, Alabastron was a calling from the Lord. I had been interested and drawn to the lives of women from a very early age. But also after I finished college, I was a management consultant. And as a management consultant, we used to do one of the training programs we used to do was developing managers and leaders. And who I used to find myself gravitating to find out how they are really doing were the women. You know, when you go for a training program and then in the evening people gather around the lounge area having their beautiful drinks and sound downers, and that's when people now begin to open up and get real. So I would get real with women. But that is not when Alabastron started. And then I see one of my friends here, we were doing what we are calling Marvelous Monday. So trying to gather women to make it intentional. So every Monday we'd call it Marvelous Monday and we'd just meet at the Hilton Hotel and we'd just sit in a private room and just be able to discuss. All of that it was God preparing me. But the actual birthing of Alabastron was in 2008 through a fasting and prayer process. And the Lord revealing to me this is where he wanted me to go. And him just showing me the inner suffering that women had when you go beyond what man sees, because we look at the outside, isn't it? We look at titles, jobs, hairs, figures, shapes, etc. When you go beyond that, what was happening in the woman's soul, that's what the Lord revealed to me, and that's what he called me and others, not just me, but other women who are also aligned to the same journey, to come and serve women in that capacity.
That is such an amazing journey. You know, most of the time, you mentioned something about going to the market and looking like, what gap am I filling? That's what entrepreneurs nowadays are told, that you need to go and just cover that gap. If you want to be successful, you need to look for a gap. But I appreciate that it's such a good journey that it was ordered and guided through life, through time, to be what it is today. Yeah. So I have another question.
Yes, yes, ask.
Now, since 2008 to date, what was your greatest brave moment? Like, at what point did you say, hey, today I'm activating my brave because this one I am doing and I am doing?
I think looking at the 50 seasons of Alabastron, I call them the 50 seasons of Brave. The bravest moment for us as an organization is taking this conversation on national television and daring to do it. And I can tell you, we were in the headline news for 2 days, and I was like, enough already. You know, like, where is it being discussed in national news? 9 p.m. news is normally prime time news. And they've gone to the streets, they're asking people about their opinions. Boards are meeting to say, is this okay? Should we pull down this program? It is too much. But then I realized that there's nothing wrong with women being too much. There is nothing wrong. What's a barometer or whatever meter we used to say? So this one, they have gone beyond the way God created them. Because we are not God, we wouldn't know when it's a bit too much. So, and the too much was women who were brave enough and courageous enough to share their brave. Could it be that every time when a woman chooses to be brave, society shuns her? Society tells her, you're becoming too much. You need to tone down. This is not how we behave. This is not how we should be as women. So my Unspoken TV program, taking the conversation and being able to give a platform to women to share their unspoken experiences publicly, that was a big brave for us.
Oh, okay. Now, you know, when we ask a big brave, we ask for a challenge. What has been a challenge? You know, sometimes there have been challenges that we've faced, and then there have been wins that we've had. I'd like to hear both of those.
The challenges and the wins. Okay, I think, let me start by saying, where? When God calls you, you know, there's a misunderstanding that because God has called you, then your road is going to be nywe. Ebu say nywe. Yeah, that's what we think. But that is not the case. You know, Jesus said in John 16:33 that in this world we'll have trials and tribulations and challenges, but be of good cheer because he has overcome the world and conquered it for us. So as long as we are in this world, even if you are aligned to your purpose and you are where? In this world. Your feet are planted on this world, in this ground, until you get to the other side. there'll be challenges. And so for Alabastron, it's no different. We've had challenges of being so criticized, being misunderstood. There's a time we used to be told that we are an organization that breaks marriages. This is because, and the question I used to ask is, if your marriage is very, very strong and has a very good foundation, how would a 3-month program come and just uproot it? Okay? So it's because a woman had decided after doing Alabastron and realizing, okay, this is not working, or this is not going to work. And they made their own decisions because we don't give any advice in Alabastron. But there's a time there was such negative press and negativity and criticism around our work that even for us who are inside, we were starting to doubt. I don't know whether you've ever gone through so much pressure as a person until you even started to doubt your own identity. You were like, who am I again? What is my name? So we have gone through that as an organization. And when sometimes that criticism comes from within, in Alabastron, we like to talk about serpents and scorpions. So these people who are very close to you can sting you with their words. Then that would be really, really tough. And then you get up. You get up in the morning, and you brush your teeth, you shower, and get ready and go and minister to men. Because you realize this is because the world doesn't know any other way. Jesus said, they rejected me for no reason. Absolutely no reason. So listen to me, dear women. Some people will hate you, not just dislike you, but hate you for no reason. They don't know you from Adam, but they will just your very presence just makes them look at, even if you're just buying coffee, and they don't even know you. They're like, look at that woman. And they don't know you for no reason. Why you have to remember whose disciple you are. And as a disciple and a follower of Jesus Christ, I know that. That's what that's a promise he gave me. He said to me, some people will hate you. They hated me without reason. So they're also going to hate you for no reason whatsoever. So don't strive or aspire to be liked by everyone, but aspire to be at peace as far as is possible for you, to be at peace within of yourself, and to put your feet fitted with the gospel of peace. You come in peace, but remember, not everybody can handle peace. Some people are used to drama. They're used to just, war and friction, so they may not handle it. So if people don't like you, and not everybody's going to like you, don't think there's something wrong with you, you need to change something, or because they don't like my hair, they don't like my eyes, it's because of this. Sometimes it's without any reason. You showed up, and that was enough for them to say, I can't stand her.
Well, Apo, I have just gotten goosebumps. Mm-hmm. I was just listening, and I'm like, I have had instances where I have shown up. Mm-hmm. I have shown up, and I think I'm a very jovial person. I am a very happy, natural.
In your own assessment.
In my own assessment and categorization. But I just enter a space, and somebody gets so offended.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so that's not about me, definitely.
Then you start asking, what did I do?
Hey. It goes back to me like, hey, I did something wrong. Hey, but you mentioned something there, that we've had negative criticism on marriage. I had a rumor, a good one, that you got married.
Yes, I did. Hey! I got married.
So me, I have just been like, I want to know more. How has that journey been like? Because now people think that what they think.
People think what they think. And what do they think?
I think that, honestly, I know that having done arrest, it's important to do it, then get married. So I wanted to just confirm if it's the truth. Like, if that's the correct
You
process.
do what? You do it and then you get married. No, doing
you
it.
You do renewing self journey.
Okay.
You work on yourself. Then you go and get married.
Okay. All right. It's, let me first start by answering that last question. that is not true for everyone, and we cannot impose that on everyone. It doesn't mean because you have done RS that you then it gives you a guarantee. It's like an insurance that then when you get married, you will have the most amazing marriage. That is not true, and that would be misleading. So you don't have to do RS in order to then get married. But I think it behooves every woman to take the journey to be able to know who they are, whether they want to get married or not, whether they choose to be married or not. It's about her and her womanhood and the choices that she makes around her womanhood. So my journey to being married, again, I'm going to ask, do we have some wine here or something?
We know no wine.
Yeah, wine. So we can have some wine and have a conversation for a bit longer. So I wasn't one of those women who used to ask people to pray for me to get married. You know, people there's so much assumption around the area of marriage, and everybody thinks that every woman is born so that at some point, which point is that? 28. At 28, farthest. You can you can get married, and so when you reach 28 and further, conversations change, and people really say to you, you know, we are praying for you that God will give you the desires of your heart. And, you know, so there's all that. So, but for me, when they pray that way, what I'll be thinking is the desire of my heart would be that we're able to get this message to Africa. So that's what I am thinking. So that's what I'm saying in my heart. You know, we will be able to get renewing self to women across the African continent. So it wasn't part of my prayer. But at some point, the Lord started stirring in my heart. Around 2014, the Lord said to me, you know, get yourself ready. And I was like, but Lord, I work with women. I'm as ready as they come. Me, I know these things, man, you know? So, but when the Lord says, get yourself ready, it's a point of, you pay attention. So I paid attention, self-introspection, a lot of meditation to be able to unpack that message and invite the Holy Spirit to reveal to me what it means. And so for me, I said, okay, get yourself ready. So myself, who is self? Self is made up of spirit, soul, and body. So I asked myself spiritually, am I really ready for a husband? Then it dawned on me, I had never prayed for a husband. You know the way people pray for a husband. I hadn't prayed for a husband. I had never written down the qualities I look for. There's a friend of mine told me she had written 50 qualities. I was like, 50! You know, 50 qualities. You know, I had never written any of that. So spiritually, I was like, no, I need to start praying for my husband, but more importantly, to pray for myself as a wife. That the Lord may prepare me and prepare my heart and everything that needs to happen spiritually within me, to remove the inner obstacles, the spiritual obstacles, the soul ties, anything that needs to be broken around that area spiritually. The Lord will do his spiritual work within me to prepare me. The other thing was within of my soul. Soul has to do with our emotions and our mind, and has to do with also our will. And so I was thinking, okay, my emotionally, how do I feel around men? I feel good. I feel happy. But how do I feel when conversations about marriage are raised? When I look at a married couple, and the Lord convicted me again to realize, hiya, I had unprocessed baggage and some unhealthy beliefs around marriages, especially Christian marriages. And being a Christian, that's important to me because I was thinking, Christian marriages are just for pretending. There you just enter and you just die. You die in the name of submission. You submit yourself to the grave. You know, I had all those beliefs around Christian marriages, and I had to bring them out, speak them out, write them out, and then take them through the tools that we use in Alabastron to help me to heal from them, and so I can have a healthier perspective around marriages. Then my willingness, just submit my willingness to the Lord and say, you know what, I am willing to go through with this, no matter how you take it, because sometimes when the Lord gives us a promise, again we expect. What did I tell you at the beginning? you're thinking there'll be a knock at the door. And the guy will say, behold, I've been sent of the Lord to come and be thou husband. And I'll be like, oh, I was ready. May it be done according to the way God says shall be done. You know, that's what we imagine, but that's not the way that it works. So I had to surrender my will to God to say, whichever way it goes. I was like, but God, please don't make it like Joseph. Don't put me in a pit somewhere and then I don't know, sell me to slavery. Oh, no. So then physically, here's another thing. So I have talked about my spirit. We are spirit, soul, and body. Body has to do with our physical world. Physically, I realized that I really didn't have room for another because I'd lived alone for many, many years. And my home was my home. You know, mine? You know, when those flowers were left there, those flowers stayed there. And if the house help came and moved the flowers, I would say, next time, please do not move flowers to the left because I prefer my flowers to be at the center of the stool, right? Okay? So, and then I had filled every room in my home. You know, I lived in a 3-bedroom apartment, and every part of it was my space. It was mine. So I needed to learn how to share my physical space with another. And to prepare for that, I'm a practical woman. I decided to start inviting family and friends over. And I would get, especially my nieces and nephews, to come and stay for a longer period of time with me, maybe 3 days, 4 days. And I would be comfortable. I learned to be comfortable with. Things have been moved around. Things are not exactly where I left them. They have their own way of thinking. They think that this tool is best kept right there as you come in because it looks better that way. I think it's an obstruction, but it's okay. I had to learn to accommodate that. So physically, that's what so the prayer part of the process. And then after that, it was only in 2017, towards my birthday, that the Lord impressed upon my heart that now I'm ready, around June. And so in August, during my birthday, I met with a few of my friends, and I told them, the Lord has said, that now me, I am ready for my husband. And so what I'd like to ask of you guys, please introduce me to the guys that you know in your life. Guys who are single and available and with whom we have shared values, because you know my values, with whom we have shared values. And I told them, please don't assess them as a husband for me. That's not your work. Me, I just want to go out on a date. I want to go out on different dates. And because at this stage of my life, I'm not going to walk into a restaurant, then go, look around for effect, then go to the bar, ask for a glass of wine at all, and then I sit and I hope that somebody somewhere will come and say, excuse me, is this seat taken? So it wasn't going to be like, I wasn't prepared to go through that. And so I said to my friends, you do the screening for me. And that's how I got to meet my husband, David Katende. So I met him through a friend who introduced us.
I am clearing my throat because how I got married was, I got pregnant, then dowry was brought, then I'm like, oh my God, cows are at home. For who? For me. Oh, God, I'm married. And that's how I got married. And this sounds like such an interesting journey.
Okay.
And well, I know now because I made a decision to break off that marriage that now moving forward, there's a better way of doing it. There's a deliberate and intentional way. There's a brave way of doing it.
Yeah. Brave, intentional. In fact, I remember because of the process of what you're saying about being brave, there are some people who tell me, like, Manny, why are you telling people that you want to meet people? You shouldn't tell people that you want to meet people. I'm like, then who should I tell, you know? So they used to find it to be too much and too open and too, you know. So, yeah, but thank you for sharing also your vulnerability that because women get married for different reasons, apart from the reason that they wanted to get married. A lot of women would like to get married for love and companionship and to share their lives and to have a marriage of purpose. When you ask them when they got married, some of them will say it's because I was pregnant, so we had to do the right thing. No, you say I'm pregnant, so what do you want us to do? Or there are women who said I got married because I was looking for shelter. I had finished university, and I'd come from Ushago, and this person offered me shelter, and I said, well, yeah, why not? So I just moved in, and after on our second child, I said, now you need to go home and tell them something. You need to go say. So people get married for different reasons, and it's important because you're having these brave conversations that as women we look back and ask ourselves, why did I get married? So that we are not always crying foul. And I think for those of us who are here, I would like you to take a moment online to get onto the chat and have this brave conversation and type, why did you get married? For those of you who are married, and for the ones who are not yet married, why do you want to get married? Let's have that brave conversation. Put it in the chat so that we can be able to engage further.
Where? Doesn't it make you reassess? You just go back and ask yourself questions. And I love that I've gotten this opportunity to actually sit down with you and ask you all the questions that were running in my mind. And I know we all are very excited and happy to have had this. Thank you for letting us into your space and for just allowing us to, I don't know how to put it, allowing us to see a part of you that not so many people see.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Angie. Yeah, asante. Asante.
Asanteni.
Is that it?
Imagine that's it.
Oh, wow.
They were easy questions.
I was like, what? Yes. I was waiting for that question. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, because I think those are some of the questions that a lot of women ask me on the side, or they ask me, how did you start Alabastron, on how do you keep it going? And some who don't know that I got married are asking, did I hear right? Or did I see something? You know, so it's good that you've been able to bring those conversations to the table.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sijui kama tuna clap ni kama tuko na ladies in the audience. Ladies clap with ululation. It's called ululation, right?
Yes.
Do that with a thank you. Thank you so much, Lady Laimani.
Okay, asante.
We are going to take this conversation forward. We were supposed to just recognize a few women who have done great things. And I want the ladies who are here and who are on the platform to just tell us, who is that woman in your life? You know, hata nasikia nisimame for effect. Eh? You know, most of the time when we think of women that have activated their brave, you look at them and you think, this woman is brave. This woman is very, very brave. We think of the Wangari Maathais. We think of Michelle Obama. You know, the big names. But I want you to tell me, when you sit down and look around you, tell me at least 3 to 5 women who you know have activated their brave.
Yeah.
Who you know have activated their brave. So that it's not just on the international platforms that we know about these people.
Can it be like my grandmother?
For me, actually, it's my mom.
Okay.
It's my mom. She's one of the strongest people I know. No, she has this inner strength. And it's, every day I feel like she does a brave thing. She does not give up. She does not believe in.
Did you tell us that she went to serve where?
Oh, currently she's in Afghanistan. Where? She was in Afghanistan. I have my sister in the audience. That's why I'm asking where she moved. But she was in Afghanistan.
And you guys wanted her to come back. You know, there's sometimes children who want to own your life. Mom, you can't stay there. What did she say to you guys?
No. That's what she wanted to do. And I just applaud her. So for me, one of the bravest women I know is my mother.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. One of the bravest women, I know so many brave women, but one of the ones that's very close to me is my grandma. My grandma, because my grandma was able to stand up for her. She was very unconformed. She was very, very unconformed. You know the way in Shags, it's about people wake up in the morning. I come from an agricultural community. People wake up in the morning, they go to the shamba and all of that. Then about 4 or 5, they come back, they cook food for their children, or maybe they left the food cooking anyway. There's some cultures where the food is left in a pot and with a lot of water, so it doesn't burn. So by the time they come back, voila, the dinner is served, you know. So, but what my grandmother would do is she comes back. The way men come at about 4 and they start getting themselves ready, they used to apply a soap, Rexona, Lifebuoy or something to shine. And then they go out into the nearest shopping center to have 1 or 2 for the road, isn't it? My grandmother would be there, even her. She has showered, she has put on her Rexona, and she's going to join the boys so that they can have 1 or 2. But the bravest thing that my grandmother did is that being able to stand up for herself through a marriage of abuse and being able to say enough. And she learned how to defend for herself and also fend for herself. And that I found to be such a brave thing, especially in those days.
Where?
Yeah.
So ladies, who are the 5 women that you know? Just think about it.
Can they put them on the chat? For the ones who are online,
yes,
they can put them.
For the ones who are online, put them on the chat. And for the ones who are here, just think about them and applaud them. The next time you run into them, just tell them, I appreciate you.
And I celebrate you. This being International Women's Day, I celebrate you for being brave. Because when a woman is brave, you give other women permission to be brave. We give our daughters permission to be brave. And brave does not look the same. Your brave is not the same as my brave. Are you with me? My brave could be to keep quiet. You know, there are people who just, because they talk all the time, just being able to take a moment to just keep quiet, that could be a very brave moment for them. For some other woman, it's just being able to use her voice. That is her brave. So what is your own brave? What is your brave? Okay? And when you have found your brave, it's got to be connected to you finding your authenticity. And the journey of Alabastron is about connecting with truly who you are and being comfortable with who you are. Because you can't express your own brave if you're trying to be like somebody else. Or when you're trying to copy another person's brave. The people who will do things and you are like, that one, if I did it, it's just a dare. Don't confuse brave with a dare. They're not the same. Okay? Daring yourself or being dared by another is not the same as brave. Has got to be authentic. It's got to be, this is my brave. It's stepping outside of what society has prescribed me to be. Yeah? So that's what it is. Yes. And so as we talk about these women who we are celebrating, and as we celebrate 50 seasons of Alabastron, 50 seasons of Brave, I celebrate every woman who has dared and who is brave enough to come to Alabastron. People who have been brave to come and connect with their authentic selves. Women who have showed up, season in, season out, even when there was all that negativity or criticism, they came, and these are more than 10,000 women. Let's appreciate that. More than 10,000 women. Most of us are in Kenya, but we also have some women in Uganda who have activated their brave, and they've done, I think they did about 4 or 5 seasons of Alabastron in Uganda. So we give God the glory for that. Amen. And through it all, there are some women I want to mention by name, because these are women who activated their brave, and then they gave themselves to help other women activate their brave. Yeah. They gave of themselves. And I say of themselves, I'm saying these women served in Alabastron with everything that they had, everything that was within them. They gave of, I'm reminded of in the scriptures, in the book of Luke, 8, verse 1 to 3, we are told that there are some women who continue to minister with Jesus. And they were actually true disciples of Jesus Christ. And they served and gave including out of themselves and out of their personal resources. These women who I want to mention have done that. Some of them have even met their children, because when they were serving, the children were picked from school, but because they had to deliver a session, the children were brought to Alabastron. Remember gate number 29? Yeah. So they were brought to gate number 29, and they had to wait in their car or do their homework in one of the rooms in Alabastron. So they were dedicated, and they have remained committed and dedicated, and they served in different capacities. So let me appreciate Queen Joan Moria. Thank you so much for your dedication. Queen Rahab. Thank you so much for your dedication. Queen Helen. By then they are not in any order, not from the highest or from the oldest, it's just any order. Queen Carol Gasheru, who is not here. Let's appreciate her in absentia. Queen Kaine, who is in Uganda. Queen Carol Chakua, together with Queen Lillian Mayenda. These are the ones who started Alabastron in Eldoret. Yes, Eldoret, Alabastron. Queen Beatrice Barasa, who is not here. We appreciate her. Queen Mary Onyango. Queen Shalom Munyiri. Queen Mombi is here. Mombi Dobe. These guys, they used to come at 6 a.m. We used to have 6 a.m. meetings. So by 7, we are done. And what were we meeting to discuss? We were meeting to discuss how we are going to take the ministry to the next level, discuss sessions. We would challenge each other. We would meet to discuss books at 6 a.m. Yeah, so it was something. So Queen Sharon Chep is not here. Queen Wendy. Queen Catherine Kabaki. Queen Beverly Nombewa, Queen Emily, Queen Angeline right here, Queen Shiko, who was here at the beginning, Queen Cisco, Queen Susan Kagwe. Did you watch Susan Kagwe's interview? If you haven't, please watch it. It's such a brave interview, a brave conversation. Queen Susan Kagwe. Queen Samperu, all the way in UK. Queen Susan Nganga. Suzanne, I saw you here earlier. Why she's here? Suzanne. Yeah. There's Susan Nganga and then there's Suzanne. You're two different people as well. Queen Suzanne, we appreciate you as well. Then Queen Irene, I don't know that Queen Irene is here. So if I've not mentioned your name, doesn't mean that you have not served. But this particular, over the 50 seasons, these guys have served for possibly more than 5 seasons. I can't even count how many seasons. And they have served in over and above the call of duty. So we celebrate every woman who enables another woman to activate her brave. Every woman who holds their candle and tells other women, please come and light your candle from my candle, so that you can see the way through this valley or the way through this dark season of your life. And we want to be those kind of women who hold out our candle for other women. We don't want to be those women who say, si kila mtu atafute light kwani. Okay? We want to be the ones who hold out the candles for other women.
Thank you.
Where? Yes.
So 50 seasons.
50 seasons.
In these 50 seasons, when I did season 34.
Okay.
And I was talking to Mumbi, who did season 2. And I was telling her, where was I? Why did I not do season 2?
Exactly. Why wait too long? Why wait too long? Because there's this understanding of this feeling that Alabastron is for women with issues. And most people think, I don't have issues. But who doesn't, really? At first I used to say, no, we can't be seen that way. We want to be seen as this amazing ministry doing amazing things for women. And I realized it's fine. I have issues that I've dealt with, and even right now I have issues that I am dealing with. I am discovering more of who I am, and every day I'm continuing to expand and grow and fill the space that the Lord has carved out for me in this world. And I think every woman should give herself the right and the responsibility to do that. To see when I'm fully grown. Ebu tell your friend, me, I'm still growing.
I'm still growing.
But when you're fully grown, who will you become? Would you give yourself the chance to fully grow and to see who you fully evolve to becoming when you're fully grown? So yeah, so don't wait too long. Don't wait until you're celebrating season 100. Season 50 is a season for you.
That is the truth.
Yeah, that is the truth. That is the truth. And if you'd like to do season 50 right now, what we'll do is that we are going to put a link on the chat. Go on the chat. There's a link there to be put up by one of the guys of Alabastron. And you click on that link and you can register so that you can say, you know what, I want to activate my brave and discover who I can become as I commit to in this process and this journey of growth. Okay? So,
right.
Angeline.
Asante.
Asante sana. Thank you. Let's appreciate Angeline. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for that interview.
So here is where I wave like a queen.
You wave like a queen. You,
adios.
Adios, but not forever. You're coming back shortly.
Yes, definitely.
And your shoes are queening it. They are a crown in themselves. And those shoes just a crown. They are a crown in all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angeline. Let's appreciate Angeline one more time. So today, I'll also be activating my brave. There is something I've always been asked to do. One of the things I've been asked to do is quite interesting, but ridiculous. I've been asked actually to post on social media in my bikini. Is it worth it, guys? Yes. Some people are saying yes. Is it worth it? It's never that serious. But maybe I will today. Maybe I should. If I fully embrace who I am, shouldn't I just strip down and be brave about it? Hey, this auto silence. Mombi's holding herself like this, like, where are we taking this conversation? Okay, so there are many. So I will be activating one of my braves. I will do that right at the end because this is not just about me. The reason we decided to do this interview so that you may get to know a little bit more about how Alabastron was founded and get to know the founder as well, which is me. But Alabastron is not about me. It's about myself and every other woman who comes to activate her brave. And we want to hear from women. What really is Alabastron about? So I would like to invite on stage the women who are coming to share with us their brave. Rahab, Cassandra, Stewart, Angeline, please come right on stage so that we can be able to share what brave really looks like, what's Alabastron about. Let's welcome them as they come. We can sit in it. Let's balance out. Balance out. 2 and 2. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, yes. Okay, so Alabastron, we can't talk about Alabastron without talking about the impact it has had in the lives of women, the journeys that women have embarked as a result of being able to come and undertake the Alabastron program. And so I thought we should have these conversations about the different areas that Alabastron has impacted different women. You're most welcome to share your story if you would like to. One of the things that I found to be amazing is how many women go to our website And when they read, they don't know what Alabastron is. Even after explaining, they still don't get it. Even right now, there are some people who will watch this and they're still, kwani Alabastron nini? They still don't understand what it is. Because it's such a personal journey that the only way to be able to explain it and express it is when women talk about their own journey. Okay? So they go to the website and they read the stories of women. So if you would like to share your own journey, and hope that that journey would light up a candle for another woman. But that in that journey, as they read your story, they'll be able to see themselves and feel that they can activate their brave. That brave is for women like us. It is for women like all of us. It's for women like you. So if you would like to share your story, please contact Emily or Beverly through the Alabastron email address or through the phone. We have our numbers in our website, alabastron.org. And please come and share your story as a queen who has done Alabastron. And I know that doing Alabastron doesn't now make you sorted permanently. What it does is that it gives you tools that as life unfolds, as life comes your way, you are using this. You have tools that you can reach out to. Like if you're driving a car, and you get a puncture, there are some basic tools you want to ensure that you have to be able to change that tire, isn't it? You need your toolbox. So even for us as we go through our life's journeys, when one of our tires burst, it could be your spiritual journey. Some of you right now, you are spiritually feeling like you have lost direction, or maybe you're not praying the way that you like to pray, or you're feeling that you are like, I want to reactivate my brave in my relationship with God because my spiritual tire burst. So what happens in the Alabastron is that you have those tools that can be able to change that tire and continue with along your journey of significance. Whether it's the tire is somebody who came, like in the movies where we see people taking a knife and coming and just puncturing the tires themselves. Have you ever seen that? Because of their own anger, their own issues. Some of us, our tires have been burst by other people because of their own issues. And you feel, I've stagnated. I'm not being able to move forward. My vehicle, this vehicle called my life, has stalled. And so Alabastron gives you tools so that when that happens, you're able to stop and you're able to change the tire. But not just the tools, but also the skills. Because I keep saying, you can have tools and not have the skills on how to use the tools. I remember one day I woke up and I said, as a single woman, I want to be equipped. I want to be independent and to have what it takes, because I was never sure when I asked a mechanic to fix my car, whatever they tell me, I have to believe them. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Because they open, so you go there, you look, and you look. You don't even know what you're looking at. Then they tell you, we need this. You're like, do we really need it? That's the most intellectual question you can ask. Do we really need it? Then he says, yeah. And I'll get a receipt. He says, yeah. Okay. So then I go frustrated. I get a guy who comes to fix my tap. Then I feel like he leaves the other tap a bit spoils. Because after about a week, the other tap also now begins to have issues. So I was like, I need to start sorting my life out. So I woke up one day determined and focused. Have you ever seen a determined and focused person walking, even in a mall? There's a way in which you walk, your feet are touching the ground and hitting it. And so I was going to Yaya Center to buy myself a toolkit with all kinds of spanners and screwdrivers and things for chomelering. These things cannot be rocket science. They are made for human beings, and I am a human being. So I went and said, I want your toolbox, the biggest one. Put it here, I see. Then I looked, the first one they brought, I was like, okay, this is too big, I can't even carry it. Okay, give me one I can carry. Then they brought two, then there's one that had color yellow. I said, I even like pretty ones. This one that has color yellow looks the best. And I opened it, had many, many things. I said, these many things have sorted my life for the rest of my life. I am no longer going to be calling these fundis and they come and they tell me, Sijui what. So I bought it. And it was quite expensive, and I went home with it. In fact, I was carrying it through the mall. I was looking at people. Do you see me toolbox? It's mine. It's me going to be using this toolbox. So I carried it home. And the first time, so there was a leaking tap. I opened that toolbox. I looked at it. And apart from the screwdriver, I knew nothing about all the other tools. I didn't know how to use them. So when I called the guy, and so he said he needed what? I told him, I don't even know what. Check what this is. He looked at the toolbox. He asked me, "Madam, ini yako unatumianga?" Ilikuwa nikuwa natumia, lakini hata sijui hizo vitu ni za nini. I had no clue what they were. So you can accumulate tools in life that are not helping you. And I think that's what living in the information age has done for us. We Google everything. So if you ask somebody, how can you tell the signs of an abusive, toxic marriage? They will give you plus handout, and then they forward you some videos of YouTube to just back up what they've just told you. Then when you're sleeping, you hear messages coming in. They're still sending you some more. And please read this link. In fact, watch this woman's story. It was really our story. So we have so many tools. We have collected so much information, but we don't have the skills on how to take them and unlock our lives, how to take them and heal the places where we need healing, repair the places that need to be repaired in our souls and in our lives. So Alabastron does both, the tools and the skills. So these women are here to share with us their own journeys. So I want us to just have a conversation as opposed to the way that you normally do it during Open Day. Say, tell us your name, Yarara. Of course, you will tell us your name, but it'd be great to hear your journeys, especially before Alabastron. Okay? So let's start with, we'll start with you. Why?
Cassandra.
Activate your brave. That's it is better. The lighting is okay. Let's start with you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tiwo, but my real names are Maureen Awor. Yeah, but when I joined Alabastron, I just wanted to be called Tiwo. I remember the thing that I was told is that I should use the name that I'm comfortable with. And at that point, that was the name I was comfortable with, and everyone calls me Tiwo. So the reason why I joined Alabastron, that time, I was at a time in my life where everything was not working. I needed to reset the button. As a wife, I was doing poorly. As a mother, I was worse. I used to shout at my children. I remember one time, my eldest son called Christian had, children do things sometimes, but it was something that really didn't deserve a beating. But he called someone a name, and I was wondering, where did you get that from? So what I did is that I took Christian home. We were at a party. I told him, the party is over for you. I took him home, and I beat him thoroughly. I beat my son so badly. And up to today, anytime anyone shouts at Christian, I see the fear in his face. And it is that experience that made me realize that I was doing badly and I needed help. I needed to reset my life. I needed to find who I was, because that was not me. The anger that was in me was bad and wasn't doing well for me and my family. And that's when I saw on, I think it was on WhatsApp, one of my friends actually forwarded for me, and she has never done Alabastron, by the way. Yeah, so she forwarded, and the next day, I called, because that flyer spoke to me. I called and I paid immediately, and I did season 40. That's the reason why I joined Alabastron.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, Stewart, for sharing that moment. I think most mothers would identify with that. A moment where what you're actually beating is not even the child. There's something else, and you can't, later on you wonder, what was that? And what was I beating? And where is this coming from? And did this child even deserve to be beaten that way or to be treated that way? So thank you for your vulnerability about that. Then you also talked about you're not doing so well in your marriage. Can you give us an example? This example you've given us about your son brings a point home. What about in your marriage? Because, please help us, sister. I'm newly married. I want to know whether I'm doing good. So how would I know that? Sasa?
I was just a shouter. I would shout a lot, and there is no time, or most of the times, I never really used to approach my husband in a calm, respectful way. Anything, even the way he chews, I would go like, why are you chewing like that? And I'm thinking, how are you supposed to chew an apple? Of course, I must hear how you're chewing that apple, but it used to irritate me. And I was just angry. I was angry at him, and of course, it drew him away. So it drew us apart, and I could feel there was a gap. But by that time, I didn't really know that I was doing wrong. I thought I was right throughout.
Yeah, so thank you for that example, because what I'm thinking is about when you start being irritated by small things about another person, when they just upset you, when you start to feel like you are the SI unit, you hold the standards of how people chew, how people should walk, how people should talk, how people should sleep. Who sleeps like that? Who walks like that? Who looks like that? Who does, So when you start being that critical and nitpicking and being irritated by this person, then that is a point at which you take out the mirror and you look within and ask yourself, what's really, really happening? What's really, really, really going on here? Okay? Because we can't change everybody to become like a mini-me, to become like us. Even your children will not become like you. I know you like them when they're little and you say, mini-me, mini-me. When they are 15, 16, they will not be mini-me. When they are 40, they'll not be mini-me. They are created to be their own person and to manifest the glory of God that is within them. And our role is not to stand in the way in them manifesting the glory of God that is within. So thank you, Stuart, for sharing that. Great. Angeline, before Alabastron.
Well, so, see, I mentioned earlier that there were certain cows that were brought home and I was not aware. Anyway, I got married like that. It was so interesting.
Can I tell you something just off the cuff? When I was a very young girl, I used to think when I get married, I would like them to Russia. You know Russia? I want them to Russia horses.
Hey, yo!
Then my mother asked me, can they be milked? Yeah. So cows have come.
Yes, so cows
Actually, they can be milked. Okay.
Well, my journey was interesting. So I discovered I was pregnant. Then after that, we decided the right thing to do would have been to get married. So where I got married is the kind of people who want to come to your home. Mashamba, uko, oshago. So, of course, my mom, being my mom, said, uku ndio oshago, they have to come here. So I thought the issue was still up and up. It was unclear. But then my mom calls me and tells me there are cows walking into my compound. I'm like, what? So apparently they go...
Oh, so for you, there were actual cows?
6.
Oh.
And they were brought like 2 days before. And then at some point, story for another day, they were stolen. Oh no, they walked out. Then they came back by themselves, my brothers. Anyway, it is a long story. It was such a journey. Oh, but I cried that night.
Anyway, the cows?
Yeah, it was the day before. before Christmas and they just walked out. Before Christmas and they just walked out. And they went grazing somewhere we don't know in the middle of the night.
And they were supposed to be your cows.
And they were supposed to be my cows. And then, of course, my brothers were deployed in the middle of the night to get them. And luckily, they brought them back home. But that's story for another day. So I got married. Fast forward, I realized the marriage was not working. And then I left. Now, in the process of leaving, I told myself, I am a single mother. I will give my child the best life that they can ever have.
Okay, how did you realize the marriage is not working? Me, that's where you think that's my season. I'm like, wait, why are you fast forwarding that part? Why are you not fast forwarding the cows?
So we were just not agreeing. Like, for example, we could not agree on what kind of school to take my child to. We could not agree on how to spend the weekends, where to spend Christmas and New Year. So me and my family, I just love going to my home. But then every Christmas I have to go to this place that it's not my home. And my home, I know they're having fun. Somewhere far across the ridge. Anyway, so for me it was such a hard time because we could not agree. It wasn't even an epic battle. And I'm the kind of person who avoids confrontation. So we would never confront and get into arguments and whatnot. And he was also such a kind of person. So even him, he would go sulk in his corner, I sulk in my corner and communicate through the house girl and the child. So it got to a point where I saw it damaging my child.
Oh, wow.
Because she
that
had
is
to
a
take
kacha moment. By
sides.
the way, there are things that we call kacha moments.
Yeah.
Kacha, that moment when a truth is spoken and it connects within your soul and lights up your entire being. That's a kacha moment. And if you're online, you can type just kacha, K-A-T-C-H-A, because the moment you realize, because at first when you're talking to Angelina, I was thinking, yeah, people don't always agree. Are you guys feeling like that? But then when you say it was damaging my child, that's a kacha. That's a kacha.
And so I saw the damage on my daughter, and she's this impressionable girl. And she would ask questions like, Mom, why are you not talking to Daddy? Then I'd go like, you watch her, when you grow up, you'll understand. Then she'll go and ask the same question of the dad. And the dad would go like, wachana na hiyo, and sweep it away. But then I saw this is a young girl who's coming up in life, and it's weird. So I left. And when I chose to leave, I said, I'll do everything in my power to be independent. And therein started my financial troubles. Because I saw, okay, so the way you make a list of the things you want for your child? I said, I want to live in an affluent estate, affluent according to me. So, of course, I went and punched above my pay grade. I got a nice house. I got a nice car. I started doing these things where, when you live in a certain place, your neighbors also live there, and they actually can afford it. But you cannot. So when my daughter would come home and say like, we have ballet and swimming and all these fancy things in school that are above the fee structure level, tuition, I would want to give it to her. Because it's what the friends see. And all this came from, I just want to give my daughter the best. But somehow I ended up getting into debt. And how this happened was, you borrow 10,000 for once, you pay it with like a 20%, you pay 12,000. Then because you've paid 12,000, you go back and borrow. Then you borrow to recover the 2,000 yenye iko hapa juu. The next thing you know, you are in debt. And I read somewhere, and I had a friend of mine tell me that, it's better to be broke than in debt. Because when you're broke, your balance at the bank is zero. But when you're in debt, it's negative. So me, I was
Is that
like...
a kacha? Kacha.
So I was in the negative, and we are not talking negative for 1,000. We were talking for millions. And all this was because I was coping. My issue was that I had been hurt by the break of that marriage. And I was trying, the way you're trying to do things right. So you're saying, I will show society that I can do this. As a single mother, I can
do this. I will show my family that I can do this. I
That
will
I'm
not
okay.
show any vulnerability. And that's how consistent. And then, I wouldn't talk to anyone about it until I came to Alabastron. And this had been going on for years because my marriage broke down way back. But consistently, year in, year out, I was just trying to toil and appear as though everything is okay.
Wow. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Angie, for sharing that with us because, when you're saying that you went to the negative of millions, none of these women, there is their eyebrows. They are looking like, yeah. But I think the catch-up moment is there is what is the fuel? What is driving you? What are you trying to prove and to who? Do they even care? The people that you're trying to prove to, that, who are you trying to prove yourself to and why? Being able to sit down and ask yourself those questions, then realize everybody's trying to do the best that they have with their lives. Even those ones, maybe even your neighbors are looking at you, maybe you are their Jones. They're looking at you and saying, hey, even as you have to keep up. Maybe. Yeah. Who's to tell? So thank you for sharing that with us. All right, Rahab, do you have a mic?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Coach Rahab. Your mic is not very loud. Can I give you this one?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
that's
better, yeah. All right, so tell us, before Alabastron, because for us, we've known you as a coach in the Alabastron, before Alabastron.
So first of all, when I heard the word Alabastron, I said, what kind of name is that? And I'd never heard about it. Just the way Laimani was saying earlier, some of you will be told Alabastron, and you're like, Ala what? I was like that. And I'd never heard about it. I'd never had anyone mentioning it. I did season 10 of Alabastron. And my friend introduced me to the program, and I said, you do first. You do, and then you come and tell me. So I was those people of, and then, even when I watch a movie, I'm like that. Kulienda aje, like that. So I would actually ask her all the time to tell me what was happening. So when she finished, she told me, now I finished, it's your turn. I said, So it's nice you people knew what Alabastron was. I was clueless. But there's something she told me, and that time I didn't have money at all, like for Kabisa, I didn't have. She told me, Rahab, go and do it, I'll pay for you. I said, what is this that you can actually say you'll pay for me? Let me go, let me find out. But the way I was welcomed when I entered, the way we were welcomed today here, I said, there's something different about this place. So when I was doing, before, I always say, now when I was inside, when I was doing the program, is when I was like, God, at the what? I was, there's a series called Walking Dead. You know Walking Dead? Yes, those are people who are dead but walking. I was like that, and I didn't know. It took me to come for the program for me to realize, I was dead, and I didn't know. So I was clueless. Like those people who wake up in the morning, you're showering, you don't know if the water hot, is it cold? I was just there. Yeah, so that's how I was before the program. So I had to do the whole 12 weeks fast for me to have a glimpse of who Rahab was. For me to actually, okay, like the way okay, now let's wake up. Okay, I'm alive. I'm not dead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rahab. Is there a specific example you can give us that was an indication that, hey, now looking back in hindsight, where you can say I was actually dead, or this particular incident is what was one of my moments of, oh my goodness, what life is this, or what's really going on here?
So by the time I was doing the program, I was married. I had one child, and I could not identify who I was. From the class 1 to the whole 12 weeks, I could not say. So we'll be asked, okay, tell us, what were you wearing? I'm like, I can't remember. Like, I could not remember anything. But what really stood out for me is that I didn't have a voice. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I liked. When people were saying, oh, I remember Mombi actually taking us through something and saying, oh, I remember you're wearing a pink dress. I looked at her and said, how do you remember you're wearing a pink dress? Like, it was that for me. But the one thing I remember, I had been wounded. I was in pain. I was heartbroken, like in pain and hurt because of how I was brought up. I had a very toxic upbringing, especially my relationship with my mom was very, very bad. And I had buried it under the carpet. The other thing I'd gone through was sexual abuse, which I had gone through and I had totally forgotten until I started doing the program. And then I realized, oh, that's what happened. So by the time I'm doing the program, I was dead. Because that happened when I was 4 years old. And then now the relationship with my mom was it was toxic.
Yeah. And thank you for taking us there, Rehab, because a lot of people, even who are following online, most people don't, when we talk about mothers, most people don't realize that there's something called mother wounds, that we can have unhealthy relationships with our mothers, even as women. And when that is not healed, when that relationship is not healthy and healed, then also you're not likely to be a healthy mother to your children. You're also likely to pass on that which you received. So going there and bringing to the fore that in Alabastron, there is nothing that's off the charts or off limits or off the table. We want to be able to give this woman the opportunity to connect with herself, going into the relationships that matter most, because that's where most women, by the way, our greatest pain is in relationships. Think about it. We come to Alabastron because we think, I want to find myself, I want to know what my purpose is or whatever. But what brought you to Alabastron is really a relationship, whether it's with yourself, whether you wonder, why am I having such an unhealthy relationship with myself? Why do I have, to use the way the world sees it, low self-esteem? And then to realize it's because I had a very unhealthy relationship with my mom that really affected my esteem, how I see myself and what my value is. The other area that you've allowed us to go is the area of sexual abuse. And in Alabastron, again, we go there. We are told, and that's why Alabastron is such a brave organization. We really activate brave, because to create an environment and give women tools where they can be able to be brave enough to deal with sexual abuse and so that it's no longer a place of shame. One of the things that really holds women is the fear of shame. And one of the things that causes us to walk with our heads under like this, held down and stooped, is because of shame. We are so afraid of being embarrassed, being put to shame, and we are so afraid that the experiences that we've gone through would cause us to be ashamed. I've become so aware and so alert to this word shame, so much so that sometimes when you're sitting with some people, especially from the West, when they, or also in South Africa, I found the word is very much used. When someone doesn't make to do something, like they say, oh, shame. I tell them, no, it's not a shame. They just couldn't make it. They tell me, it's an expression. I'm like, why must we say, what a shame? Why do we have such a shaming culture? So women are so afraid of the shame, even the shame around sexual abuse. Never mind they were the victims. Okay? They were not the perpetrators, but yet they carry the guilt and the shame. So thank you so much for bringing that. That's another area that we like to go to, because you could be trying so hard as a woman to step out and be brave, but then you look back, you're thinking, but why am I not really feeling at peace with who I am? I'm trying to do brave things. Wear brave eyelashes, like I'm wearing brave ones, like you can do tweet, and they are brave. Wear CG beat the face, face beats. I don't know. Do wear what? Slaying clothes. Even if you are wearing a spank that you can't even breathe, you're like this. But you're like, I'm trying to be brave. Then you're like, why am I not? Even when I've gotten to the level of the C-suite, I've worked so hard. Why am I still feeling like a fraud? Why am I feeling like they'll discover me? It's because there are some places in our lives that still need to be healed. And those places include relationships with the people closest to us, including our moms, our dads, our brothers, our sisters, some friends who have really offended us and caused so much pain, but also healing sexual abuse from people that we may not even remember, we don't even know. We just know that abuse took place. So thank you for taking us there. All right, now we are with you, Cassandra. Are you ready? Activating your brave?
Born ready.
Yeah, all right. So tell us about how you heard about Alabastron and how you came to Alabastron, the Cassandra before Alabastron.
So for me, it's, wow. For the longest, I have been one person who has believed that I can do anything by myself. And so it so happened that it got to a point where I went through loss and pain in very quick succession. I lost an uncle of mine who was very dear to me. Then I became ill. And at that time, I wasn't living in the country. So I had to be in hospital for almost 5 months. A journey that took me to the ICU, got a stroke in the midst of it, got out of it, fell into depression for quite some time. And then fast forward, I lost my baby brother. And so I really needed a reason to be alive. I really needed that one thing to hold me together. And I thought all these things cannot be happening to one person at the same time. You know, who goes through loss, then pain, then loss, then pain again, in that order, you know? And so for me, part of joining Alabastron was to have that one reason to get out of bed, to have that one reason to stand up and say, you know what, man, another day I can live through this. And coincidentally, it helped me to, before, yes? So it has been brokenness. It brought me in and it put me there. I just needed a reason to move on. I just needed a reason.
Wow, thank you, Cassandra. And so sorry about the loss of your brother and the loss of your uncle. That's never easy. And also now going through the experience of when your body, your physical health is also challenged in the process. And so there are women here who just need the reason, a reason to be able to go on, a reason to be able to wake up in the morning. You know, I've had memes that say things like, hey, this adulting thing, man, can I an adult myself? Yani, it's tough. I don't want to adult up. So the reason, just finding the reason to go on. So we would like to hear more about the reason, but is there an example that you would give us where over and above all these challenges that you're going through, the two losses of the family members who are close to you and more so men who are close to you, and then your health is also in challenge. Was there any other area of your life where you were like, now, there's nothing for me to hold on to, even in this area of my life? What else wasn't working?
Now, let me give you the story.
Yeah. This is a wine moment.
Let me give you the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I've told you I've been sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, imagine I'm in hospital. Okay. And my brother, blood, who is older than I am, just to mention, who ideally is supposed to take care of me, be my protector, for lack of a better way of putting it, did not even have the courtesy, just mere courtesy, to come and see me in hospital. And for me, it changed my perspective on men. It really shifted how I see men. And also because I remember when my baby brother passed on, I remember my dad making a comment in the line of, if he was to die, he would have died eventually. After we had pleaded with him to take him to a better hospital. By the way, I remember paying 32,684 shillings for my brother's death in hospital. 32,000. And it's not because we couldn't afford to take him to a better facility, but just because of the arrogance of my father. And I was on the verge of breaking. I was on the verge of losing my mind. I was literally on the verge of giving up on everything that I believed in. And so, man, I just needed one day. Just one day.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. So, of course, we are all interested to find out then, that's a before, what's the after? Because what bridges the before with the after is a process. And this process is the process of renewing self, the process of doing the Alabastron program, which takes 12 weeks, and online we are doing it for 14 weeks because we've added 2 extra weeks just so that we're able to cover the content. So if you want to do it online, if you are tracking with us from out of the country, because now we have our sisters who are in diaspora are now doing the program from out of the country, and they're doing it 100 because it's 100% online. It has come with its benefits. So if you'd like to do the program again, we'll ask the same team to repost the link. You can click on the link. It's a Google form. You fill it out and say, I want to do this program. That is the process. But after the process, then we look at the after. I told you guys about the criticism that Alabastron received before. And what I arrived at, what became clear for me, is I said, I am just going to roll up my sleeves, be like that farmer who gets the work done, alongside other women who also sensed that this was an amazing process, an amazing program. And we rolled up our sleeves and work, because I said, people can argue when you're going to dig. People can argue with what you've planted and the seeds that you're planting. But no one can argue with the fruit. When it eventually comes out from the soil and it bears fruit, a mango is a mango is a mango. But keeping on persuading people, telling them, no, we are planting mangoes, we want women to be healthy, they wouldn't understand. But no, when the fruit started to come, no one could argue with the fruit. So with these women now, I want them to share with us their fruits. Not the process, because the process is the Alabastron journey, but their fruit. Tell us about your fruit from the process, Steve.
Well, I have many fruits. The one that really stands out is peace of mind. I have so much peace, you cannot believe it. And the thing is, I know that I constantly have to work on it. But the one thing that I also know I got was I got my voice back, because I have a business, I run a school, and having to deal with many people or employees, sometimes you find that my personality, I was not able to, I was this nice person outside. You wouldn't even tell what I was going through. So you'd find that I would be nicer to the people outside, but the people who needed my niceness at home, I was not nice to them. But that now put me in a place where I would not be able to say when something is wrong or when something needs to be done in a certain way. So that brought my voice back. And apart from that, peace of mind and my relationship with my son is the best. Yeah, we are best friends. We are best friends. He's now 11. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Had you started the school before or after, or did you take the next level after Alabastron? What was the impact there?
Oh, I took the school to the next level after Alabastron. And I would say that was very brave, because I expanded the school in 2021, last year, when we know most of the businesses were closing. Some schools also closed, but that was the time I did my expansion.
Okay. Yes. Thank you and congratulations. What about for you? What is your brave? I mean, the fruits of brave.
Okay. So that was to check the mic. Anyway, so for me, let me just tell a story. One day we came back from visiting my folks. Then when we got to Nairobi, my daughter had forgotten her toothbrush in Nakuru. Then she comes and tells me, Mom, I forgot my toothbrush. Can you buy for me a toothbrush? And I didn't have money. At that point, I had, So I tell her I don't have money right now. Then my daughter waited for the neighbor. Then the neighbor came in. They were going up the stairs to their own house. Then I hear my daughter telling the neighbor, Mama Nani, nisaidie na 30 bob ninunue toothbrush. My mom will pay you back later. And I was like, am I perpetuating a cycle? And that is the day I said no. So I made it an item for me. Like, this is where now we start turning it around. Then I used the tools that we'd been given and deliberately, like, you know, the way you sit down and you start asking yourself, where did this relationship with money come from? Why am I like this? Why do I feel like I need to do my life like this? And the beauty of it is, the moment I did that, I recovered my journey with money. I shifted my mindset. I had this poverty mindset. I shifted it. And I got to a place where I realized enough is enough is enough. If you don't have, it's all right. You don't have to go to the negative to be okay. 1. 2, with all this, I got to a point where every place I'd go, any capacity I'd serve in, I'd be put in as national treasurer, I'd be put in as treasurer, and then again, treasurer. Then I was like, do these people know who they are making treasurer? Are they trusting me with their money? But then I realized that was my journey. Because now I just don't, it's not just about handling my own personal finances. It's about handling other people's finances. Being trusted and held accountable for their finances. And doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Because let me tell you, about 4 years back, it was still a situation, and you're handling people's money, and they're sending it to your M-Pesa that potentially has Fuliza. So it becomes a very narrow path to navigate. So I got to a point where I realized, I need to quickly work on myself and pull the tools and do the right thing. And in doing the right thing, not just for myself, I started doing it for society. And then I'm now serving in a national level as a treasurer. And that for me is...
Kacha. Wow. Well done, Angie. Congratulations. It's so interesting. In a very spiritual way, it's like where the Lord has anointed you to go. That's where you have the most tests and trials. Because clearly everybody could see that you are able and capable of handling money, except that you couldn't see that for yourself. Exactly. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Rahab. Fruits.
The fruits. So for me, because of how I grew up, I realized I was very scared to become a mother because of my relationship with my mom. I was really, really scared. So you can imagine doing premarital classes and then you're being told to pray for your baby who's not there. And I told God, please give me boys. I cannot handle women because I am a woman. My relationship with my mom is not okay. And God was kind enough to give me boys. I was very happy. So I have mother of boys. But when I was going through the journey, I had to, so that's when I woke up and I realized, something has to change. And Lemani, so I did it and came back, went a bit and I said, I'm not living here until, the way you're saying, my feet are planted, until I learn the skills, how to use the tools that I'd gotten. So one of the things that I got was just to find who Rehab is, just to know myself. And the other thing is to find my voice. One of the things that I got out of it, I said, I will want to have a good relationship with my children. My mother has never said, I love you. I don't think nowadays we hug a bit. We hug, yeah, a bit. But I love hugs. I hug because I used to say, just let me hug you. I was not hugged. I wanted to be that mother to my children. Make time for them, sit down, whether there's money or no money, sit down, have tea parties, let's talk. But the other thing, because I had an unhealthy self-esteem, you can imagine what my husband had to put up with. There are things he will not comment about, like, kwa nini umevaa hiyo nguo, it is war. I had to work on myself for us to have a healthy marriage. And it was work. I had to put in the work. One of the areas for us was around finances. You know, I had to have a voice for me to say, this is the way we are going forward. So to put first things first. And what is important for me is have this family unit that is functional. So where do we draw the line? Where are we putting first things first? So apart from spending time with family, are we able to pay school fees? Are we able to do what we are supposed to do as parents? So I remember this instance that we had agreed, this has to be done, this has to be done, this has to be done. But because now I had gone through the journey and I knew how to use my voice and I knew how to put first things first, school fees was not paid and we were told children are going to be sent home. Before, I would look for money, or I have, then I would pay, so that the children are not sent away from school. But I said, you know what, this time we are not doing this, they will stay home. Imagine the pain of waking up in the morning, going to work, but your children are at home. Everyone else has gone to school, but your children are at home. So you wake up because you're feeling like something, you give them homework to do at home, stay here, you do this, and then you go to work. Come back. And that happened one day, the second day, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, until it was exam time. And that is when school fees was paid. But what that did for us as a family, we learned how to put first things first. Because I found my voice. When I was doing the 12 weeks, I was given tools. This is what you're supposed to do. When you reach here, this is where you say, here, we are not crossing here. And that has really helped us grow, to put first things first, to know what we are supposed to do as a family. And I'm really thankful for that.
Wow, let's appreciate that. So brave. Isn't that brave? That's really, really brave. And you can see they are clapping without, because they're still like, ooh, 1 week, 2 weeks, they are clapping 3 weeks, and 4, you know. But really, listen to me, ladies. Sometimes it is important for you to learn the skill of going through the discomfort of change. If things have to change, there will be moments of discomfort. Most of us don't want to deal with the discomfort. We want to jump or to be airlifted from where we are to where we want to be. But growth happens in the discomfort. Those uneasy, awkward moments is where the growth happens. So it is important that we develop the skills of being able to be comfortable and not losing our peace in the discomfort. Because what we are talking about when you say this, where it ends, it's a question of, you know, this word that has been thrown around, boundaries. But it's not just a question of boundaries. It's because most women will say, yeah, this is where it stops, this is a boundary. But then what happens that when it gets uncomfortable, we go ourselves and approach that boundary. We are like, is it okay? It's never that serious. But it is serious. It is serious to learn as a couple to put things. You know me, I'm in couple mode. Couple. It is important to learn how to put first things first. And be in agreement. Can two work together if they're not in agreement? Learn to be able to. But for you to get in that agreement, are you willing to endure the discomfort? the discomfort of the process, the discomfort of change. So that is what this has brought out. So we appreciate you for being brave and enduring. Be brave enough to endure the discomfort of change. Okay? Thank you so much. Fruits.
Wow. The first one. You remember how I said that I have learned, or it's a story that I've told that men for me are unreliable. The thing that I did not say is, for me, men have impacted most of what I am and who I am. So because of growing up with big brothers, I played men's sports. I played rugby. Now I'm playing cool sports, for cool people, you know. My clique was men. So fruits, right now, my circle has legit women. Let me tell you. I was deliberate about finding women who are legit and women who have worked with me, to the extent that when I was in hospital, the women who came to see me, they know themselves. I could stay in Hosi, and women who I wouldn't have imagined would become my family, became family to me. They'd spend time out of their schedules to work with me, talk to me, be intentional about how I'm doing. And so I got a family. My relationship with my mom, which has been strained for the past almost 24 years, became one of my best, to the extent that now I cannot sleep without talking to my mom. As in, I stay and I'm like, today I'm not talking to my mom. I've not spoken to my mom. And I'll wake up and call her, we chat, even if it's about the most nonsense things. And it will be the most fulfilling thing I've done. If not for anything else, just talking to my mom will be the most fulfilling thing for me. And so my greatest fruit is I have gotten women who have been intentional with walking and journeying with me, women who have told me it's okay to pick yourself from where you are and to ask for our help. It's okay for you to have that perspective that because men have influenced who you are, we as women can transform it for you. And I mean, you can see it.
Yes.
You can
awesome.
see it.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, because that's another thing that Alabastron is very committed to, creating and building sisterhood, or what we call udada, where women become each other's keepers. Women look out for each other. We can change how we relate with each other, or how society perceives women relationships. Because society wants to pit women against women. They want to say, or pit women against women. They want to say women are each other's worst enemies. In Alabastron, we say no. Women are each other's friends and sisters. We are there to show up for each other. We are not in competition. We are there to each shine their light, and no light is better, or because it's color pink and the other one is red. Doesn't mean that the pink one is not okay or the red one is better. We all have got lights to shine. And God loves our diversity. He loves our differences. And so Alabastron is about creating sisterhood, a sisterhood of women who can be true to each other, who can support each other, but also women who will challenge each other to grow. Because support is one thing, but you can be supported to your mediocrity. You can be supported into a pit. You can be told this is the way life is. Or you can have people who say, no, you are not going to go down this pit, not in my watch. You are my sister. You have got wings. And you're like, I have? You mean? Yeah, you've never said, no, I didn't know No, you can spread those wings and you can fly. And even if you fall, you can fall 7 times. And you can count on us to be there. That's sisterhood. Okay? So Alabastron is also a place for sisters. So thank you so much for that. So can you appreciate these sisters for activating their brave? Thank you so much, Queens, for activating your brave. Just before you leave, I want you to hold the space for a moment for other women who may want to do the program. So I want to share with you now the details of the program. They will be projected, or they'll be on a slide. I can't see the slide myself. It has gone off. But we do have the season 50 of Alabastron starting. And we are going to project those slides for you so that you're able to see when the season is starting and how much it is. It is an investment in yourself. It's 25,000 shillings to do the entire program of the 14 weeks. And also that once you register, you pay the registration of 1,500 and that books you your slot. And then we can talk about how you pay the rest of the money. So we want you to activate your brave. And next time, you will sit here and hold the space for other women that these women have done. They've held a space. Some of them have spoken away that you're saying, that's me. Or that is, I relate to that, I connect with that. We need to be men who hold the space for another who has not yet found themselves or found their voice. So we hold that space for them until they come and take it, and they can take their space as well. All right, so thank you so much. Yeah. So thank you graciously. Thank you so much. So what is your brave? And we would like to invite you to type what your brave is, and you can do that by typing it in the chat, what your brave is. And once again, we are giving you details on how to enroll in the program in the upcoming season, season 50. And so what we would like to do now, we would like to take a short break, during which you can be able to share with us what your brave is. What is your brave? But don't go for it. It's only for just one moment, because we want to celebrate. You can't celebrate without having a cake, isn't it? We want to celebrate 50 seasons of Alabastron, 50 seasons of brave, and then to activate our brave. And also, I want to share with you what my brave is. You see, I haven't still done that. I want to share with you guys what my brave is. So one moment, and then we shall cut the cake to celebrate these 50 seasons of Alabastron. So are we ready? The team that is bringing the cake, are we ready? So as they're doing that, you can be sharing with the woman next to you what your brave is. If you need to use the bathroom, please feel free. This would be a good space for self-care. We can take 5 minutes as we set up, then we come back.
ready? Are you ready, Paul? Here we go.
Utukufu na heshima. Sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Utukufu na heshima. Sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Milele nitakuimbia wewe. Mikono nakuinulia wewe. Sifa nitakurudishia wewe.
Everybody, wapikelele na shangwe. Hey. Come on, come on, come on. Very simple dance, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, we go. My name is.
Maneno ya kinywa changu na mawazo ya kuabudu.
Hey. Hallelujah.
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Haya maneno.
Maneno ya kinywa changu na mawazo ya kuabudu. Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Paulina, are you ready? Say.
Utukufu na heshima. Sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Utukufu na heshima. Sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Milele nitakuimbia wewe. Mikono nakuinulia wewe. Sifa nitakurudishia wewe.
Hakuna mwingine. Hakuna mwingine. Ready to dance for Jesus? Put up your hands together like that. Everybody, everybody. Hey.
Hi, ladies.
Oh my God.
Hello. Hi. So I know the music is going on,
Are you
but
ready?
I just wanted to notify you that we have around 20 minutes. You know the way events happen, and people run late, so the cake is running a bit late. But as we are preparing here, it is on its way. It's almost here, so in like 20 minutes, we'll be back for the set. Thank you.
Na heshima. Sifa zetu ni zako Baba.
hallelujah, hallelujah.
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Hey, hey, maneno
ya kinywa changu na mawazo ya kuabudu.
oh, hallelujah. Sema
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Pauline, are you ready? Are you ready, Pauline? We go.
Utukufu na heshima sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Utukufu na heshima sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Milele nitakuimbia wewe, mikono na kuinulia wewe, sifa nitakurudishia wewe, ewe Bwana, ewe Bwana.
One more time.
Milele nitakuimbia wewe, mikono na kuinulia wewe, sifa nitakurudishia wewe,
Say.
ewe Bwana, ewe Bwana.
Everybody, wapikelele na shangwe. Hey, come on, come on, come on. Very simple dance, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, we go, maneno.
Maneno ya kinywa changu na mawazo ya kuabudu.
Hey, hallelujah.
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Haya maneno.
Maneno ya kinywa changu na mawazo ya kuabudu.
Hey, hey.
Nitakushukuru
hallelujah, hallelujah.
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Hey, hey, maneno
ya kinywa changu na mawazo ya kuabudu.
oh, hallelujah. Sema
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Pauline, are you ready? Are you ready, Pauline? We go.
Utukufu na heshima sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Utukufu na heshima sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Milele nitakuimbia wewe, mikono nakuinulia wewe, sifa nitakurudishia wewe.
hallelujah, hallelujah.
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Hey, hey, maneno
ya kinywa changu na mawazo ya kuabudu.
oh, hallelujah. Sema
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Pauline, are you ready? Are you ready, Pauline? We go.
Utukufu na heshima sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Utukufu na heshima sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Milele nitakuimbia wewe, mikono na kuinulia wewe, sifa nitakurudishia wewe, ewe Bwana, ewe Bwana.
One more time.
Milele nitakuimbia wewe, mikono na kuinulia wewe, sifa nitakurudishia wewe,
Say.
ewe Bwana, ewe Bwana.
Everybody, wapikelele na shangwe. Hey. Come on, come on, come on. Very simple dance, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, we go, maneno.
Maneno ya kinywa changu na mawazo ya kuabudu.
Hey. Hallelujah.
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Haya maneno.
Maneno ya kinywa changu na mawazo ya kuabudu.
Hey, hey.
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Pauline, are you ready? Say.
Utukufu na heshima sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Utukufu na heshima sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Milele nitakuimbia wewe, mikono na kuinulia wewe, sifa nitakurudishia wewe, ewe Bwana, ewe Bwana. Milele nitakuimbia wewe, mikono na kuinulia wewe,
Hakuna mwingine, hakuna mwingine. Ready to dance for Jesus? Put up your hands together like that. Oh. Everybody, everybody. Hey. Everybody. Hey. Ah. Oh my goodness. Are you ready? We sing, say.
Maneno ya kinywa changu na mawazo ya kuabudu.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Hey, hey, maneno.
Maneno ya kinywa changu na mawazo ya kuabudu.
Oh, hallelujah. Sema.
Nitakushukuru Mungu kila siku na kuabudu.
Pauline, are you ready? Are you ready, Pauline? We go.
Utukufu na heshima sifa zetu ni zako Baba. Utukufu na heshima
shango. Hey. Come on, come on, come on. Very simple dance, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, we go, Manenos. Hey, hallelujah. Haya maneno. Hey, hey.
Okay, so I think just leave it like that. Leave it like I'm not seeing this front part, so we can just leave it like that. Although it looks too plain. Shall we turn it a bit? Let's turn it so that, yeah. So hold for you or what?
Yes.
Hold the store.
I hope I'm not turning the side that is touched.
That's okay. That's fine.
Ni kama haiko balanced. Hapo.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So thank you so much for indulging us. As you know, with events, the cake was coming. And has now arrived, okay? So we thank you so much for being so gracious. We are here to celebrate the 50 seasons of Alabastron. Yeah? Yeah! 50 seasons by God's grace. 50 seasons. And not just the seasons, it's the content of those seasons. The women who have walked through our doors. The women who are doing the program online. The ones who are, some of whom are out of the country, some of them are doing it out of town, out of Nairobi. So it's easier for them to be doing the program from Kisumu, from Mombasa, from Cayman Islands, from France, from India, okay, from South Africa. So if you have sisters there, tell them there's no place that is too far on this earth that we will not be able to reach them. If they have Wi-Fi, we'll connect. They are most welcome. And they are loving the idea that they can have something that is homemade. Have you been out of the country and you're just missing homemade food? They are really, because they're saying, look, we have so many programs out here, but most of them, they're just giving us examples, and I'm thinking, you don't know where I come from, So they're just happy that they have something that is homemade. Our examples are relatable. They are feeling like they're home simply by being able to do the program online. So any woman who's above the age of 21, please ensure that they get the link, they get the message, that they can be able to do the program, renew themselves, activate their brave. That is possible for them. So we thank God for that journey, and we thank God for that process. And the details about when the season is starting, again, I need the slides, but I cannot see them. They're not yet projected. So that's what you're waiting for. It's me there, not the slides, okay? So we need the slides of when the program is starting, because people are asking about that. When's the next season? Some of you have come to ask me whether they can guide. Isn't that brave? That's brave. Thank you. Yes, you can guide. You can come and be a guide in the program, and we commission guides and ensure that every week the guides meet before the class happens, so that they are equipped on how they are going to be equipping the women week by week. As opposed to giving you the whole program, we ensure that you are comfortable every step of the guiding process. So you're most welcome to guide. Some have asked me, can I do the program again? How many of you would say it's wise to do the program again? It is wise. I think it is wise. It is wise to do the program again because life has seasons, and you are in a different season of life. And so depending on the season that you're in, you catch something different from the program. If most people come and they say, we didn't do that in my season, but that's not true. We actually did it in your season. But because you are not present to that season, you didn't catch it. But now you're in a different season of life. It would be great for you to come and do the program again. And we normally have a special rate for our queens who want to do the program again. So if you would like to do that, please make sure you see Beverly or Emily or Shiko or Angeline, and give them your name and number, and so that we can be able to do that for you. And the other thing that we are doing in this new season, as we celebrate 50 seasons of Alabastron, we realized that there are so many women who are activated to start coaching. They are like me, I want to help other women. Okay? But they really don't have the tools and the skills, or they go and acquire the coaching accreditation from elsewhere, and that is fine, and that is very, very valid. But they still come and say, but I want to coach Alabastron's way. I want to use Alabastron tools without feeling like, who am I cheating? Or will I be found out? I want to use them legitimately. So what we are also doing is that we have now introduced the Alabastron Soul Coaching Certificate. If you want to be certified as an Alabastron coach, you can apply for that. There are we have two levels two levels of the coaching certification or accreditation. Number one is just, the person just want to know, I just want to get to know how to coach as the way Alabastron does. I want to touch the souls and to use the spiritual principles and Christian practices in my coaching. That is one. Then there are people who are saying, I want to run a coaching practice. I want to do it full time on my own. I want to establish my own coaching practice. So both of them require, they have similar skills, but the one for doing as a practice, my goodness, you will need other skills, okay? You need other skills, the skills of how to run a business, because you will need to run that practice as a business. It's got to be able to pay for your bills, but at the same time, when you're charging, you don't feel guilty because you're also helping people. Okay, so that's also a new thing that's going to be happening starting this season. So with that, as we are still waiting for the slides to find out when the Alabastron is happening, now I want to activate the app, but I can't see them. They're behind me. Okay, but I can't talk like that. It's awkward. So I need them. I want to see them on those on the screens on the side. I think they're still trying to get them on the screen on the side. Okay. So as that is happening, can I now tell you about my brave? Are you ready? Let me come closer. So, my brave. I'm activating my brave. I've been asked to do so many things, including to pose in a bikini for my social media platforms to get followers. And I don't know, I don't know that will get me followers. People will be like, what? You know, I don't know. But the one thing I've always been asked to do is to write a book. And today I have written a book, and I'm launching my book today. Okay? The book is called Activate Your Brave. What is your brave? Is a book that every daughter has waited for or has been waiting for. Are you a daughter? Are there truths that you wanted to have known as a daughter growing up? That's a book for every daughter. So whether you are a daughter, you know a daughter, or you have a daughter, who are those? But it's for daughters above the age of 21. And they're above the age of 21. That's a book for them, because it has these truths that we're talking about in a way that equips them. Because it's one way to talk about things. So I've realized now there's a new culture where people are just talking about issues. But after you have talked and discussed these issues, then what next? How do you move forward? How do you move forward and grow from your experiences? Sharing your experiences is one thing, but knowing what to do next, what next, is what the book is really about. So activate your brave. And if I could see the cover, it's not there. Can I see the cover of the book? You guys are the first to see the cover of the book. Let me wait for it. I think it's coming. So when I was thinking about how do I want the cover to look, I knew for sure I want to have brave, women to activate their brave. When I was thinking about what should the cover look like, what are the cover, you're given different samples of what to use. The one I chose, has it come yet? Not yet. Are we going to get it? The cover? Yeah, so can you see that? It's a brave one. It's a brave one. Can you see that butterfly perching on the nose of the lion. Because I feel like sometimes that's what a woman's life is like. You have got to courage it. Be brave. But do you realize how strategic that is? What can the lion do about a butterfly on the nose? So, even as you're activating your brave, you also need to be strategic. You don't just say, I'm brave. You can't just go telling the lion, I'm here. Utadu, try. You need to be strategic. But also what I like about that cover, I really, I always have loved when I watch what do you call a pack of lions? The Pride of Lions. I love the Pride of Lions. I love watching how the different roles are played by the males and the females in the Pride of Lions. But there's one, and so I love to also watch documentaries when I want to relax. Wildlife documentaries really help me to relax and to calm down. So like today, you can be sure I'll watch one. But there's one that I watch that really, really. Have you ever watched a documentary and then you cry and it's animals and you're like, it's like a movie, you're like, oi, 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 oi. Oh, gosh. Oh. And then I found myself even praying. It was, you can Google it it's one of the National Geographic, Nat Geo Wild documentaries. I think you can find it on YouTube. But it's a lioness that had gone through so much in her life. Number one, she never quite belonged to her pride. You know when you're that different lioness, the one that the other lionesses come and fight off and fend off. Then she gets married. Okay, they don't get married. Although there's a guy who lied to us and told us he was a tour guide and told us that now today we are going to have the lion marriages. They normally do weddings. And you're like, really? Yeah, they normally gather. That's their wedding parlor. So anyway, they get into the age of maturity where they mate and they get children. So she got 2 cubs. But after that, the lion didn't want anything to do with her, the 2 lions, because they normally are 2 lions and many lionesses. So the lionesses don't want her, the lions don't want her. So she had to leave. So she left the pride. And she's a mother, a single mother, with 2 cubs. In the jungle of Africa. And she's going through the jungle and she has to go hunting solo. And so where do you leave your children when you're a woman solo and you have to go and get them food? You don't have a mother. You left your mother in the pride because the mother is normally also in the pride. Her sisters are in the pride. Where do you drop off your kids? So she hid them behind some bushes. And this is how they communicated. You guys don't live here. No, I know the way children are. Don't live here, stay down, keep it low. So she went hunting and she took a whole day and an evening to hunt. But during the night, there was a herd of buffaloes that was passing through that path. And they smelled these cubs and they decided to gorge them. Okay? So the mother has gone hunting. So the cubs run away. So when she comes back, she's looking for her cubs, calling them, and they're not responding. And finally, when she gets them, she only gets 1 cub. And guess what? The cub had been gorged, the back was broken, the hind feet were broken, so it's only waddling on its 2 front feet or legs. So it's literally dragging its back and its hind feet behind. If you think that animals don't feel, you need to watch that documentary. There is an anguish that lion has when it looks at the child and then decide, okay, fine, this is my child, picks the cub, and tries to walk with it. But then it realizes, I won't be able to look after this cub. So at some point, it comes by a river. And there it gives the loudest roar that you've ever heard. Then at some point, it's trying to roar and it comes because of pain. And then it has to walk away from its own cub. But the moment that lioness cross that river, something shifted in her. She transformed herself into this fearless. She'd walk, the way the buffaloes see you, they're like, then when they realize she has got this fierceness in her eyes, they start running away and it's alone. The pride that she left were trying to hunt her down. She stopped running away from them. Like, bring it on. I'm tired of running. I am tired of running. And I don't know what has been chasing you, whether it's your past, whether it's some demons, I don't know, from your past, whether it's fear of failure. But a point reaches as a woman, you have to look and say, I am tired of running. Bring it on. And she looked straight at them and they realized she was not the same lioness that had left. She had gone through pain, through loss, through so much. And this time, when she went to confront the buffaloes, because she knew the buffaloes that had killed her, that had destroyed, she couldn't find the other cub. As she's going to confront them, guess who she sees at the far back of the buffaloes? The other cub that survived. It's uko nyuma, between her and the cub, she sees so. When these lionesses realized she's no longer afraid, they decided now they were going to follow her and help her. So they came in, they helped her, some were chasing away the buffaloes, the cub was rescued, and she's able to end up with one cub. And that for me is what being brave means, is what fearlessness does for you. It causes even some people who are naysayers to rally behind you, to support that brave that they have seen. Because people support that which we dish them. If you're dishing people fear and timidity, they support you, they support your timidity. They support your fears. But if you're going to be brave, that's what they will support. So that's one. So when I was thinking about the cover, that lioness for me, it spoke at a very deep level, and that's why the cover looks like that. So the cover is not like Manny posing in a bikini, saying, activate your brave. No, it is that. And the story behind it is a story of that lioness, that brave lioness. But the other thing, of course, you know that I love, anybody who knows me knows I love butterflies. I can't have enough butterflies. I love butterflies. All kinds of butterflies, I love them. And so that just having the butterfly there was just communicated that brave. So the book will be out by the end of the month. So if you would like to get yourself a copy, please do so. And we will give you details on how you can get yourself the copy. You can pre-order. If you pre-order, we'll deliver it to where you are. And you can be able to get it. Has 3 parts. Part 1 is really lessons and tools. Part 2 is the brave of other women who have shared their brave. We've changed their names because they didn't sign up for that, but we have changed that. But they have shared, it's telling their stories in a way that activates other women's brave. So we have used flowers. So part 2 looks like a magazine. It just have different, nice, beautiful flowers. It's like a magazine. And then part 3, I felt was important to honor the women who shared their brave on national television, to tell their story, and to allow to capture them as part of the brave journey of Alabastron. And so part 3 is 5 of their stories and 5 of their journeys there. So it has 3 parts. So get yourself the book, activate your brave. So with that, I would like to invite, thank you. And by the way, if you get the book, and if you have an organization and you let me come and speak to women about activating their brave, all you need to do is buy them the book. Then I'll give you the talk without charge. Buy them the book. The talk is without charge. Yes. Okay. So that each of them can get a copy of the book. So I want us to then cut this cake to represent those 50 seasons of brave. And so what I'd like to invite 5 coaches. If you've ever coached in Alabastron, coaches, 5 of them, please join me on stage so that we can cut this cake together. We can own this space of brave. Please come forward. It looks like there should be a song somewhere. Mumbi, Mombi, please come so that we can be 5 of us. Each to represent one season, 10 seasons, a decade of seasons. And Irene, please just come.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Are you ready? We sing, say.
We want a more upbeat song. Hey, we want to dance. Hey, hey.
Just come here. Just come here. Come here, Mama. Okay.
Mama cake. Mama cake. Mama cake.
Unataka kumsaidia Joan?
Okay. When the song? Where is the song?
Tunasema nini? Activate your brain.
It looks gorgeous.
All right, so we are about to cut the cake, Lemani. Hiya. Sawa, we want to cut the cake. Where are the claps? Happy 50th anniversary. Is it anniversary? Seasons. Another one on the side. Hiya, cut the claps. Activate your brain. You'll have to give up.
But then I love cake. Hey. Mimi nina recommend mu create space na kudance. Like you dance kidogo, create space for food and cake. Oh. Kwanza acha nishughulie maneno ya tumbo. DJ, cheza kama wewe, punguza ka volume kidogo tu. Lower. Aya, Rehab.
So, where I come from, we always honor, like Lemani honored her call, isn't it? All of us will not have been here if you'd not said yes. So, just to say thank you, we would like to feed you the cake. So I'll ask, maybe, I don't know, Mombi? I'll ask Mombi to do it. And then can we clap? Happy 50 seasons of Alabastron.
So on top of the cake, on top of the cake, I don't want to tell you those ones for milk and unga, but there's the book, Activate Your Brave. Activate activate your brave. If you are going to take any challenge from today, is you go and ask yourself, what is your brave? Sasa tutawaletea keki. Ninaona mmekuwa mkituangalia sana.
Wakasema najigamba, hao binadamu walinipa wiki. Sasa imepita miaka bado wanasubiri. Kazi ya Mungu haina makosa. Ingekuwa binadamu wanatoa ningekosa. Sio juju, ni maombi. Ni maombi. Si kelele, ni maombi. Ni maombi. Sio juju, ni maombi. Ni maombi. Si kelele, ni maombi. Ni maombi. Hoya, hoya, hoya. Hoya, hoya, hoya. Hoya, hoya, hoya. Na mikono nitainua, magoti nipige, nimweleze jinsi alivyotenda katika maisha yangu. Kazi ya Mungu haina makosa. Ingekuwa binadamu wanatoa ningekosa. Kazi ya Mungu kweli haina makosa. Ingekuwa binadamu wanatoa ningekosa. Sio juju, ni maombi. Ni maombi. Si kelele, ni maombi. Ni maombi. Sio juju, ni maombi. Ni maombi. Si kelele, ni maombi. Ni maombi. Maneno ya wanadamu yalinilenga kama mishale, ila Mungu hawezi kubali uanguke. Alichoanzisha leo lazima atakamilisha. Kazi ya Mungu haina makosa. Ingekuwa binadamu wanatoa ningekosa. Kazi ya Mungu kweli haina makosa.
DJ.
Binadamu wanatoa ningekosa. Sio juju, ni maombi.
Ni maombi. Sio juju, ni maombi. So ladies, kwanza, I just want to tell you, me, I have had a blast. I don't know if you're like me. And I have had cake, and I feel like everything is now perfect with the world. So my role right now is just to give you a vote of thanks, to tell you thank you so much. We don't take it for granted that you took time out of your busy schedules, out of a weekday on a Tuesday, to come and spend time with us. There are so many activities going on because of breaking the bias. But in all that, you are here. We don't take it for granted, and we say thank you. Kwanza, we thank all the women who took a chance on Alabastron from season 1 to season now 50. Yeah, like that. That's why I was posing for effect. Nona? Yeah? We don't take it for granted that season 1 to season 50, we've journeyed season in, season out, and here we are. We thank God because without Him, nothing would have been possible. Nothing would have been possible. So, for me, it's a reminder to all you ladies. There's a link with the Google form on the chats. Please go on to it and sign up. When I chose to do this journey, I did not know how much it would transform my life. And for me right now is to dare you to take a chance on yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And how do you start? You start by clicking on that link. Just that first step, and then we'll take it over from there. We will do it for you from there. We will do the hard work. We will just actually tell you, move like this, you move. Move like this, you move. and then we'll give you the tools. Sindio? For all the women who've made the decision to actually take that step. Sindio? Now, apart from that, our season will start on the 17th of March. 17th of March. Our sessions run from 8 to 10. And if any longer or any shorter, we will give you the dates. Just come to the first class, and then from there we will give you an orientation on how to take everything forward. And now, apart from that, everything that comes with an investment. And I told you my story about money. It took me taking a chance on myself financially to get to where I am today. And I dare you to do the same thing. Take a chance on yourself. Pay the financial commitment that we've required of you, $1,500 for registration. And then we have the $3,500 for the kit and $20,000 for the class. Do that and we'll do the rest. Sawa sawa. Na kwa hayo mengi na machache, na kufunga na kufungua, na nasema asanteni sana. Yes, so we will do a group photo here. We were, tulikuwa tunasonga hivi tukiangalia stage ikae aje, ikae smart. Ni kwa sababu tunaenda kupiga picha hapa mbele. Na hiyo picha tunangependa sana kupose. Na kama unataka kuweka kale ka face beat, kale ka gloss, tafadhali weka. And then we will do that. And after that, we will head to that end where we have lunch prepared for you. And we will call it a day. Asanteni sana for coming. Sindio? I'd like to pray for the food before we break off, and I'd like to just give thanks to God for this session that He's given us today, and then we'll take the photos. Sawa sawa? Aya, let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, I come into your presence right now. I come as a humble servant with thanksgiving in my heart. I thank you because of each and every person represented here, all the women that are here, cutting across all the seasons of Alabastron until now we are at season 50. Lord, this is your work we do. We ask you to go before us, to bless us, to protect us, to give us wisdom, to just watch over our journeys, oh Lord. Father Jesus, we pray for that woman that is stuck, that does not know what to do. Let this be their answer. Father Jesus, right now, we have food before us. We thank you for it. For it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Haya, group photo. And then, tumeambiwa hapa hivi kuna dance competition. Na mimi ndio DJ. DJ ya dancigi. Oh, and the short ones stand at the top. The one we play. Let's go.
Listen, them say, them tell you say you can never be the one. But God say, make I tell you say now you him choose. In 1 month, in 1 week, you will sing a new song. In 2 days, a lesser than you will hear. Congratulations.